Have you ever felt that there's a hidden part within you that is holding you back from reaching your full potential? Now, what if I were to tell you that if you were to embrace your shadow? In this video, I want to share with you the role of shadow work in raising your consciousness. So let's start out with what exactly is shadow work. Shadow work is a powerful process where you dive deep into your inner being, your inner self, to uncover any limiting aspects of yourself. Because those limiting aspects, they're holding you back. They're limiting from really stepping into your power and tapping into your full potential. It's the fears, the doubts, the experiences you had, the things that you have learned growing up, the things that, society has taught you that it's not safe and things like that. They all created shadow aspects within yourself. And it's the feelings of guilt, of shame, of inadequacy, not good enough, half-heartedness, feeling impatient, struggle, fear, limitation, and doubt. And there's so many other shadow aspects that we all have. It's those masks that we hide behind. And when you do shadow work, that's about uncovering those limiting aspects about yourself, those fears and doubts and all of those things. When you uncover that and then you work through that, you embrace the shadow, because each shadow holds a gift. And when you really embrace your shadow, you heal the shadow, then the gift reveals itself and then you can grow from that. So that's, in a nutshell, that's what shadow work is. But now let me share with you how shadow work can actually help you raise your consciousness. Because it is a vital part in you really waking up more, raising your consciousness. Because when you uncover those shadow aspects, those limiting aspects of yourself that are really holding you back, and you start healing them, you really embrace them and you heal them. You're letting go of the limitations, you're shedding the layers, and that in itself raises your consciousness, raises your vibration, because you're letting go of all that limited stuff that is really holding you back, that is weighing you down. You also then actually learn and grow, because the more you work with the shadow aspects and you're really leaning into that, you're leaning into the discomfort of the shadow aspect, the gift reveals itself. And that's what will then help you really transform your life. Because when you're becoming aware of a shadow and you're really leaning into that, you're uncovering, well, where's this coming from? Why am I experiencing that? What is the message, the lesson, the gift here? You're actually then transforming the shadow and transcending it into something higher. That's when you then tap into the gift. That's when you're then transcending it, because then you can tap into the gift of the shadow and then live from that place. You're then replacing the limited aspect with the gift of the shadow. So you're learning a lot, you're growing a lot, and that also then helps you really raise in consciousness. You then also start looking at things from a different perspective, from a higher perspective. Because as you're really clearing out the shadow, as you're healing it, as you're releasing it, as you're letting it go, as you're transcending it, you're tapping into a higher frequency band. And that will then allow you to no longer look at your life from the victim point of view, but really you're raising in consciousness and looking at things from a higher perspective. You're also opening yourself up to looking at things from a different perspective, from different angles, and seeing and becoming aware of a higher truth that otherwise you wouldn't be aware of. Because oftentimes when we look at a certain situation, we only see it in one way or maybe two ways, right? And oftentimes if there's negative feelings attached to that, it causes us to look at it through a negative lens. We're only seeing the challenge, we're seeing the obstacle, we're seeing the things not working out and all of that. But the more you do shadow work, the more you then learn to tap into the gift of each of the shadows, you're then really raising in consciousness, and that allows you then to look at it from a different perspective. You're seeing different solutions, higher solutions. Because there are infinite solutions to a specific problem, challenge, or situation. But oftentimes when we're in that limited point of view, we're really not open to seeing things from a higher perspective. So the more you do shadow work, the more you heal and clear and transcend your shadows, you're actually then raising in consciousness. So you do then open yourself up to looking at things from a higher perspective. And then the more you actually do shadow work, you're also uncovering the true essence of yourself. You're awakening more fully. You're getting to know yourself at a deeper, more intimate level that otherwise you also wouldn't be able to do. Now, yes, shadow work is in the moment when you are in the midst of the shadow work, can be quite uncomfortable until you really learn to use shadow work to your advantage. So it doesn't make you feel really upset, but you're really leaning into it with the intention of healing it and releasing it. Because when you do shadow work from the victim point of view, the victim mentality, it can really derail you, because then you're looking at all these shadow aspects like, I have these doubts, I have these fears, I have this, I have that, I have shame, I have guilt. Oh my God, this is just derailing my life. That is then actually not really serving you. But when you're learning to really look at the shadows, you're becoming aware, okay, I have guilt around this. Okay, instead of feeling bad about it or judging yourself, you're tapping more into the energy of gratitude, because like, hey, I'm grateful that I actually uncovered this. Okay, now I can do something about that. I can heal it, I can clear it, I can transcend it. And the more you do that, you're then uncovering the true essence of yourself, of who you are, that awakening soul that you are growing into, which then also helps you really step into your true, authentic self. Because the shadow aspects, that's all the masks that we're wearing, the masks that we're hiding behind in order to fit in, to be liked, to not be rejected, to just fit into what other people call the norm, right? Because we don't want to be outsiders. So we're wearing all these different masks that we're hiding behind. But when you're doing shadow work, when you're really going deep and you're uncovering your true self, you're then also stepping into your authentic self, because then you no longer have to hide behind any of those masks of shame and guilt and jealousy and half-heartedness and inadequacy and all of those things. You're becoming your true, authentic self. And that's then also how you're showing up. Because without doing shadow work, without uncovering all these limitations, these things that are really holding you back, these masks that you're hiding behind, you're really not your authentic self. So then the question is, who are you really if you're not your authentic self? Something to consider, something to maybe think about. But also, don't judge yourself if you don't really like the answer. That only then gives you the awareness that, hey, maybe I do need to do a little bit more shadow work to really uncover and step into my true authentic self. Because the more shadow work you do, the more you really uncover those limited aspects of yourself, the more you really discover who you truly are deep beneath the surface, behind all these masks. And then you feel more empowered to really step into your authentic self and show up as your authentic self. No longer hiding, no longer holding back, no longer hiding behind different masks just to fit in or whatnot. But no, you are your true, authentic, empowered self, and you're proud of who you have grown into. And you see, the thing is, the more you let go, the more you heal your shadow aspects and release those layers of doubt, of fear, of all of those limited aspects, the lighter you become, the more you raise in vibration, and the more you elevate in consciousness. Because then you're also more able to tap into the higher frequencies, in also tapping into your sense of inner knowing, sensing, seeing, feeling, hearing, right? So the more you do shadow work, the more you really uplift, because you're really letting go of all that stuff that is weighing you down, that is holding you back, that is overshadowing your true authentic self. So shadow work is an absolute powerful and beautiful process that can truly help you raise in consciousness. But I'm curious to know from you, what is your experience with shadow work? Have you delved into shadow work already? Have you noticed that the more shadow work you actually do, the more you raise in consciousness? I would love to know. Leave me a comment below. Let me know. While you're at it, if you enjoyed this video so far, if you got no value out of it, do me a favor, hit the like button. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get notified whenever I release new videos. But thank you so much for allowing me to bring this video to you. I really hope that you enjoyed this. Now also be sure to check out these two videos here. One is about 6 steps of how to heal the shadow, and the other one is a light language activation to transcend your shadow aspects. I think you're going to enjoy these. So thanks so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Until then, make an amazingly abundant and joyful day. Namaste.